The European engine triggers emergency alerts. Imagine you're driving a high performance car, you're going fast down the freeway, all of a sudden like a warning light comes on. Well, you might decide you want to pull over real quick before you ruin that engine. And that's sort of like what we're seeing today. We have the economic engine of Europe is flashing warning signs. And the warning signs are pretty severe. So what do I mean by that? Well, I've done a lot of talk about Europe, of course, the energy crisis they've been having for the last couple of years, now the food crisis, political crisis, I mean, you name it. As a matter of fact, on my main channel, Mark Moss, I did a video talking about how the European Union is on the verge of breaking up. If you'd like to check out that video, go check out my main Mark Moss channel and just look at that. And I break it down. But basically, you can see that in the European Union, there's many countries, and many countries are not very productive. Mostly the pigs, which are Portugal, Italy, Greece, Spain, etc. And so those countries aren't very productive, but Germany has been this economic engine. They're the ones that are the major manufacturers of Europe, and so all of that economic goodwill, all of that economic production has enabled the EU to kind of help the smaller nations along. Now, in that video, I talked about what the EU is on the verge of breaking up. I talked about how I don't think Germany is going to be happy with this very much longer, but even more than that, let's assume that they are happy with that, they won't be able to. And the reason why that's changing very rapidly is for the first time we've seen now Germany, instead of being an exporter of goods, now they're a net importer, mainly driven by their energy policies that, of course, they've decided to do to themselves. They've decided to shut all of their energy down and import it all from Russia. The prices have gone up, which has now pushed all their prices of manufacturing up, and they're not very profitable anymore. Now, I suppose they could solve this if they wanted to. If they wanted to reverse decisions, reverse course. But it looks like right now the leaders are pretty hell-bent on keeping that bus heading straight for the cliff. And even if they did want to reverse course, it could take years. But anyway, what is this emergency that we saw? It's pretty crazy. Let's take a look at it. So we can see here, it says Europe's on high alert as Russia temporarily halts gas flows via major pipelines. So Russia sends gas down to Germany. You're probably aware of this by now, the Nord Stream pipeline, and it was taken down for maintenance work, scheduled maintenance work. But will the Russians turn it back on is the question. We can see here it says Russian gas flows to Germany are expected to drop to zero later in the day because they're shutting it down. The head of Germany's energy regulator believes the Kremlin, Russia, may continue to throttle Europe's energy supplies beyond the scheduled end of the maintenance works. It says down here, the Nord Stream pipeline is Europe's single biggest piece of gas import infrastructure. All right. Europe fears the suspension of deliveries could be extended beyond the 10-day timeline, derailing the region's winter supply preparations and exacerbating a gas crisis that has prompted skyrocketing energy bills for households. It hasn't just skyrocketed energy bills for households, it's also skyrocketed other things that we need energy for. So like natural gas, for example, is used to make fertilizer. And it turns out we need fertilizer to make things like food. It also is used to process food. So it also puts a big skyrocketing bill on the food as well. We can see here the EU receives roughly 40% of its gas via Russian pipelines. That's not getting anymore. Now, what's interesting is this part here. Russia says gas flows have already dropped by about 60%, or Russian gas flows have already dropped by 60% in recent months. Russia's state-backed energy giant Gazprom has cited the delayed return of equipment serviced by Germany's Siemens Energy in Canada for its reduced flows. So listen to that for a second. So Russia has had to throttle the amount of gas that Germany gets because they don't have a turbine because it's being serviced by a German company, by Siemens, but in Canada. So their turbine they need to send gas to Germany is being serviced by a German company in Canada. And because of sanctions, Canada and Germany don't want to give the turbine back. But if they don't get the turbine back, then they can't send gas. Sounds pretty crazy, isn't it? I mean, that's something like a movie to be made over. It says here, Canada said over the weekend that it would return a repaired gas turbine back to Germany for use in the Nord Stream 1 pipeline. while also expanding the sanctions against Russia's energy sector. So we're going to continue to sanction Russia. And as a matter of fact, I guess we'll go ahead and give you this piece of equipment back because we desperately need the gas. But we're going to do even more sanctions somewhere else to offset this. I mean, this is just insanity. Russia said last week that it would increase gas supplies to Europe if the turbine being serviced in Canada was returned. So Russia says, look, give us the turbine back. We'll send you more gas. And it's kind of like this drug dealer movie. It's like, give me the cash. No, give me the money. No, give me the, right? And it's like they fight over it. And this is a problem. But to see clown world in full effect, we can see here Germany triggers alert level of emergency gas plan. What is this? What is this alert level? What is this emergency gas plan they have, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked because it is quite something to see. So if we don't have natural gas to heat our homes and it's going to get really cold and we don't want people to freeze to death, what should we do? I put this tweet out, I believe yesterday. Putin sarcastically asked Germany, quote, when you shut down your nuclear, you decided to shut your own nuclear plants down. You don't have energy because of that. Oh, you also decided not to get your natural gas out of the ground. You did that. And you don't buy our gas, so you don't want to buy our gas anymore. You're vowed to get off of that. What will you do? Heat your homes with firewood? Well, turns out that's exactly what they'll do. So we can see here, imposed energy crisis sees wood-burning stoves and dry firewood sell out in Germany. So now in Germany, you can't even get firewood or wood-burning stoves anymore. Now, it sort of sounds like going backwards to the Dark Ages. Like, didn't we used to burn wood for heat before we had things like coal and electricity and natural gas? And so we're basically going back. Now, this is all in the name of their new religion, which of course is climate change. So we can't get clean burning natural gas out of the ground because of our religion of climate change. And we can't use completely free of emission nuclear for who knows what reason, but I guess climate change as well. So instead of using clean natural gas and clean nuclear energy, let's go back to burning wood. How does that sound? Well, we can see here that wood-burning stoves are ruining Germany's air. Heating with wood is expensive, and if done correctly, it's, some 15 million fireplaces and wood-burning stoves are installed in homes across Germany, but the soot produced is harmful to your health. Look at this black smoke coming out of a chimney. So would you rather have clean burning natural gas or non-emitting CO2 of nuclear, or should we just go back to burning wood? But the problem is, do we even have enough wood? We saw here that the stoves and the wood have sold out, and as a matter of fact, we've seen countries like Bulgaria have put a ban on exporting any firewood. And I think maybe they probably get some of that firewood from Russia too. Kind of funny. But what we can see here is if we look in Germany's past, I want to show you this picture here. During the Weimar Republic of hyperinflation, and period of hyperinflation, people thought that they were getting rich. The price of their homes, the price of their gold had never been so high. And they said, we better sell our gold. We better sell our houses while they're worth this high, and we'll take the cash. But the cash became worth so little that you can see here a woman stuffing cash in a fireplace because the money, the currency, was worth less than the wood itself. So Germany has a history of needing to burn firewood. And at the rate they're going, they might be burning their cash for firewood in its place. And one last chart I want to show you here is the European Union national gas import price. And so all of this supply and demand has put a price, a crazy price on natural gas. It's down a little bit, but it's up to 34 million BTU, up from where it was just $1 back here in July of 2020. So from $1 to $35, pretty crazy. But I guess that's what you get when you decide that you don't want to get it out of the ground yourself and you want to be dependent on Russia, and then you want to take away your turbines so they can't even send you more. It's pretty insane. But will they have a future of burning their own currency as hyperinflation rages on? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Leave me a comment down below. Of course, as always, give me a thumbs up on this video if you like it. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you know when I put new videos out. That's what I got for today. All right, to your success. I'm out.